All right, newest virtual instrument just dropped this morning. And this one was done in collaboration with Orchestral Tools and Native Instruments, and it's called Sequis. There's another virtual instrument I've done a video on called Arcus, also a collaboration between Orchestral Tools and Native Instruments. So I'll put a link to that in the description. So this is a very different virtual instrument from Arcus. Arcus had orchestral elements that combined with synthesizer type sounds, and you could blend the different layers. This one is all about sequences of musical or percussive hits, and all with an orchestral sort of bent to it. So Orchestral Tools, kind of makes sense. Anyways, this one sounds fantastic. I've played around with it for about 10 minutes and just decided to cut right into the video, show you some of the patches. We'll play through a bunch of the instruments, we'll layer some stuff in and help you decide if this is something you want to spend your hard-earned money on. I'm not getting paid to make the video, but they do send me the software for free, and I do have affiliate links in the description. So that's a way you can help me out, but I really don't want you buying stuff that's not right for you. So that's kind of the point of all of my software reviews. Anyways, let's get into the software. When you first load it up, you can see that these virtual instruments, including Arcus and Sequis, are very minimalist. So there's not a lot going on the front page. Here on the Perform page, we can see these circles with these 4 sort of quarters. And when you're on the mod wheel control, the way it works is you have 4 different layers. We can click over to Edit and see those 4 different layers right here. When you're on the mod wheel layer control, what happens is the mod wheel is going to blend in all of the different layers as you move from bottom to top. So now we're getting the marimba, now we're getting the cello, and now we're getting the viola. And then the other option is to choose polynote, and the way that one works is kind of different. It's like every time you play a different note, you get a different layer. I like the mod wheel control because then I have control over which one it is. What I'd love to see is some way to reverse that, so you could go from take the piano out and move up the other way. But that's the way this works for now. We've also got swing control right here. So what I'll do right now is just start going through some of these patches so you can have an idea of what is in here. We can go over to bass lines. Let's go to action in 4/4. Here, a bit of a pizzicato layer on the bottom, all the way up to something a little bit more intense. We've actually got a flute in there too. And if we want to hear a different layer by itself, we can just solo it. I'm going to click the next one, and you're going to see it's going to jump to the next one in bass lines right there. And we can see that this one has 3 beats. These are set to 16th note steps, and we can change that right here. We can either go to triplets or 16ths. That looks like the only option. And we've got 3 different beats right here with 4 16th notes each. So we can see this one is in 3/4. It's going to cycle, your sequence is going to cycle in 3 beats instead of 4 beats. Let's go check out another patch. Let's just see what this bass is doing. You hear that that's actually my high notes in there. Let's make that happen twice. And then we can double click it to get an accent in there. Or like that. Okay, and we'll take the solo off. Listen to that again. Well, you know what? Let's try recording that. I'm going to go turn my click on. Let's do it in D minor. It's the saddest of keys. So you can see how we can play with our sequence down here. We can add effects to it as well. We can click the little effects tab. Let's listen to this marimba. Let's pan it to the right. And let's add some accents in there. It's pretty quiet. Nice. Okay. Okay, so what I like to do, I like to go to duplicate tracks, and we're going to call that strings. All right. And then I can go to this one, delete what I've got there, and open up my new instrument, ready to go, and keep going through the patches. All right, so we've got kind of a baseline thing. Let's just have a listen to a couple more of those. This one's kind of neat. So what they've got is different articulations that are happening every once in a while, like this bend up. So they're using the 4 groups here to give us different articulations of the same instrument. It's an interesting way of doing it. So if I click this little drop down right here, you can see I've got slide in whole tone up. So we could go half tone. Or let's go a whole tone down. And we can give it an accent. Just a little bit louder, I guess. Cool. Okay, let's go check out some more patches. We've got, let's try relaxed bassline. Let's try putting that down here. Here we can hit the edit button. These are the percussive ones right here. We can even see what articulation that is. That's perc 5 on the bass. Nice. Let's put that one in there as well. The next category, which is bowed. Wow, there's a lot of patches in here. That's another thing I find very frustrating with some instruments or packages of sounds these days, is not getting enough patches. Because yes, they give you the ability to go in here and change the instrument. So we've got a ton of different instruments, and each instrument has a ton of different articulations. But I want to hear what the makers of the software are capable of doing with the software and learn from that, so then I can go and make my own patches. You know, like seeing the different articulations laid out for the same instrument, that's not something I would have come up with immediately on my own. So. And here you can see that the patterns, each beat is repeating. So they've got this little repeat thing here. You can also have them go in reverse. Let's try putting this one in reverse. I love this percussive elements that they're adding with these organic instruments. You know, the cello providing some of this percussion. It's very cool. Let's try another patch. Acoustic pluck. Oh, wow. 5/4, anyone? 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, this is giving me like Steve Reich vibes. I don't know if anybody knows who Steve Reich is, but he's got a piece called Violin Phase. You have to study it in music school. Okay, let's record that. Let's go to, let's try Grim March. That was the thing I noticed right off the bat, was these orchestral sounds are beautifully recorded. They sound different from a lot of the orchestral libraries I have. right, I think it's probably enough for the bowed string ones, but man, tons. Oh, let's just check out Newscaster. Newscast. I probably should be faster. But it's a problem, I'm using these all at the same tempo, and when you're looking at sequential stuff like this, it's like some of these would work really well at 60, some of these would work even better at 150, you know, and I'm at 115 right now, so I just happen to be there. Let's go look at echoes. Oh, that's neat. Board blacksmith. And what I would be inclined to do if I was using something like Machine or even in Cubase is to figure out what I'm going to do with some of these rhythms and then maybe change up the rhythms and then just sample them all. And so then I have a whole bunch of loops that I've created with some of these different rhythms, because we can only do 4 beats. So that's kind of one of the downsides of it. But you could overcome that by creating some variations on your patch, or you could just do what I'm doing here is duplicate each patch. So now you have a completely different sequence for a different part of the song using the same instruments. So that would be one way to overcome that for sure. So what happens if we turn this off and only have the first one? Get rid of all of these ones here. Now, go to Perform and turn off loop. A way you could just play your own rhythms in and use your own sequencer for sure with these same instruments. Go to another one. Oh, nice. Cajon Decay. I would love to see more percussion, or maybe a whole percussive library that's huge orchestral percussion using this same kind of interface. That would be amazing. If you want to clear everything, you just hit this little trash button right here and it clears the patterns instantly for you. Let's try another one. And let's try playing this with that first idea. Check out the knock on the delay. Love that knock sound. Let's try some more categories out. We're going to go over to effects. Could definitely use this in like kind of hip hop production as well. Put a cool beat to that. You got something really unique. And you can hear the swing on there as well. And the swing is just right here, the percentage. And I think 100% would be like a triplet swing. And that's at 75. Let's take it up to 150, or I could just double time the tempo right there. Next one. Oh, wow. Sonar. All right, let's go to the flutes. This is one I just looked at, and I think it's probably my favorite category. Oh, yeah. This one we can hear kind of a little short fall. I think I'm just going to get rid of that one. And then, you know what, let's do, let's repeat this last one. Let's put some accents in there. Sweet. Try a beatboxing contest. There we go. Okay, now I'm interested how they're doing that little trill. Okay, so here we can see this articulation has a ricochet on it, and that's giving us a much more complicated rhythm than just the 16th note can afford us. So we can hear, oh, it's only 3. 1, 2, 3. Didn't seem to have a lot to do with flutes. I would have probably put that in the percussion category. It sounds so organic. Oh, wow. Was Noble Princess Bride. Guitar sounds in there. Oh, vocals. Okay, let's go to keys and mallets. Love it. Percussion, cello body. Using these categories would work, but to me it might be better to go to the browser on Complete Control and use that to find your patches instead, because then you can thin things out by flute or percussion or whatever, and maybe find patches a little bit faster. And let's go to plucked, mellow nylon. So we got some guitars in there. And let's go check out textures for a little bit. We've got flute, viola, viola, viola. Wow, that sounds like voices. It would be really nice to be able to go in and change more aspects of the sounds themselves. We don't have a lot of control there, but let's try a couple more of these textures out. Blue skies. Neat. Wow. So it's capable of a lot of different sounds. So it's not just a kind of one-trick pony with the sort of sequential thing happening. You're going to get some interesting results out of this software for sure. Departed. Getting into some Bobby McFerrin territory here. Nothing wrong with that. I'm noticing a lot of differences in level, so that's something you'd have to be careful of. Let's go over to the edit there and play around with that a bit. Let's listen to the different layers. Oh, I like that one a lot. Female voice. And then this one. This one needs some reverb. Let's go to effects. So just kind of a surface level look at it, but I do think this thing has a lot to offer people looking for some creative use of orchestral instruments, voices, and with this new sequential thing, I think it's really, really unique. Very cool software, definitely recommend it, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it in some future projects. So hope this was helpful for you, help you make that decision whether it's right for you, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell, and we'll see you in the next video.